What's going on? How y'all doing? So I came across something that which I had kind of known about with Bobby Brown, because I'm being at that time, the streets and the vibe. He said the reason why he blew up back in '89 was because people were tired of Michael Jackson and Prince, and there was truth to what he said. Um, Don't Be Cruel was a big album, and it became a street album. He worked with L.A. and Riley Reid and Babyface and Teddy Riley. He definitely had the streets. He definitely, he was coming. You could say it was his. It was his off the wall. It was his 1999. It was his album to. But people that grew up on Bobby, they watched him when he was younger, and they saw him mature into what he became. And his window wasn't near as big as those two cats, but after that small window and moment, that window in time, he definitely made a mark. And I always say that no matter the fact that Usher and Chris Brown were bigger, I'll take that Bobby Brown window. That little window was happening because I'm gonna tell you something. Not only with that album, but what he brought on stage, his energy, was something else. But I think what he was going with about Michael and Prince was that in the black community, especially depending on where you were, they had gotten a bit bigger, more pop, and people had moved on. New Jack Swing had took over, hip hop had took over. Michael, when he did Dangerous, he worked with Terry Riley and incorporated New Jack Swing. Prince did too, and brought hip hop. One of the reasons why Prince was trying to put the black album on, because he had heard from the critics that people saying the stuff had gotten too milk toasty. I went to go see Prince concert back in '88, and it wasn't the same feel. In fact, there were some empty seats and empty things that were going on during that particular era. I think Bobby definitely had connected because I definitely saw a surge and a switch, Depends on where you are in your life at that time, but Bobby was definitely popping in them streets. And he didn't say it as a diss because he was happening back then. They were bigger, but he was happening in them streets. Don't Be Cruel, Guy's album, Al Bashir's debut, Keith Sweat, make those albums was what was popping in the streets. Michael had sold a lot with Bad, but it wasn't that same energy was with Thriller. And Prince's thing, the Love Sexy record, before Batman came out and all that, it was respected by the fans and the critics, but it wasn't blown. If you go into the streets, he wasn't getting that kind of pull. So, matter of fact, if you go by Minneapolis sound at that particular time, Jesse Johnson was getting more pull, just as Janet was getting more. It had the sound. They had established themselves, but other people were eating off the plate. So I know what Bobby was trying to say. But anyway, what you think if you remember back then and keep it real? And it wasn't a diss. I know what he was trying to say, but Bobby Brown saying that back in '89, people were tired of Michael Jackson and Prince, and that's why he blew up. What do you think? Please hit the like, subscribe. I welcome thoughts and comments. I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And if you remember with the sounds, because let me tell you something, I don't care who you are, styles and things change and audiences move on. And it was definitely a shift. It was definitely a shift. Because ain't nobody can say what they want to say. That every little step I take, that video with that dance break and everything, that was a turning point for him. I'm out.